In today's video, I want to share with you this desk setup right here. I had a much smaller desk before and it simply became too small. I do everything from recording videos to working to gaming. So this is an essential component of everything I do. This desk has really served me well. So I want to run through all the things that put this desk together and make it a great workspace for myself. And hopefully it'll give you a few ideas that you can incorporate into your own workplace, whether it's at home or in the office. So first and foremost, I want to start off with what's powering this entire setup, which is the 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro. Now, for those of you that are familiar with this channel, you might be wondering what happened to the M1 Mac Mini. Well, see, it's not that the M1 Mac Mini wasn't powerful enough or couldn't continue to serve me well for all my needs. It was just that things began to open up. See, when I got the M1 Mac Mini at that time, we were on lockdown. We were all home. I wasn't going out. And I really wanted to try out the M1 chip. And I thought the M1 Mac Mini would just be perfect. And it was perfect. And it stayed perfect. But when things began to open up, I wanted to move around. And instead of having multiple computers, I wanted to be able to have one computer that I can just take with me on the go. But then when I come back home, I could just easily plug it up and continue doing anything that I had to do. That's why when it came to picking the MacBook, I went for the 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro. Now I went for the 14-inch because I didn't want a MacBook that was too large. I've had a 16-inch before and it's just, I love the screen real estate, even, considering the fact that I do video editing and whether you're watching a movie at an airport or whatever you're doing, right? The screen is awesome, but I just like the portability and the form factor of the 14-inch more. It's large enough, but at the same time, it's not too big of a laptop to where I feel like I'm carrying something that's too large. Now, as for the M1 Pro chip, I'm telling you, it's beyond what I need. I only went for the base model simply because I work off of an external hard drive. So I don't need the space that's on the hard drive. Nothing that I do is on the computer itself. Everything's either in iCloud or on my external hard drive. And honestly, whether it's been video editing or whatever I've had to do, I have not once had this computer hiccup. And that's why I'm saying that even the M1 Mac Mini that was here before at this desk was more than enough. I didn't need more power. I just needed something that was portable, but at the same time, I wanted to upgrade so that way I could be good for a long time to come. And therefore, the 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro has served me exceptionally well. I've got a laptop bag which I take with me when I have to go on the go. And all I've got to do is simply unplug one cable and it's disconnected from here and I can take it anywhere I want. And then when I get home and I want to work at this desk again, all I've got to do is set it on the side over there, plug in one cable, and I'm good to go. Now let's move to the next component, which is going to be this monitor right here. I absolutely love this thing. Matter of fact, the only one thing I dislike about this monitor is its name. I've had to pull out my phone and I have to each time somebody asks me. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a comment, which monitor do you use? And I never know what to say because the name is that difficult. This is the LG 38WK95C-W 38-inch curved ultra-wide monitor. So there you have it. But that is the only dislike. Everything else is to love. This is not a 4K monitor. It's a QHD+, but I love the resolution on it. It works perfect for me. I've had it now for 3 years, and in those 3 years, not once have I had to think about, oh, maybe I should buy a new monitor. Now, I do like tech products, so every time I do see a new monitor, something deep inside of me does call to me and say that, hey, maybe you should get another monitor. But if I actually look at it practically, it served me well. One reason that I got an ultra-wide is because doing video edits on an ultra-wide is a game changer. You have so much screen real estate and you have so many things open at one time that it really gives you the space that you need. At the same time, I really love the colors on this monitor. They're really good. I haven't adjusted any of its settings. I've left it to what it was on when it came out of the box. So this looks perfectly to me. I mean, I have no complaint whatsoever. I love the screen real estate. I've got it standing on one of these mounts, so I can literally pull it forward, I can turn it, I can tilt it. It's really practical. I really can't complain about this monitor. It is expensive, right? But the thing is that if you consider how long you're going to keep a monitor like this, it pays for itself over time. It really depends. I would only recommend this for somebody that actually needs the real estate. Maybe you're doing photo editing, maybe you're doing video editing, right? For those things, this is perfect. And even when gaming, it works great. I really enjoy it. I actually feel like I'm totally immersed. And that was the second reason I actually got this, simply because I wanted to game and work at the same desk. So that way I don't have to go to the TV when I want to game. I just do everything at this desk. What I also love is the fact that it can do a split view. So you can have one of your HDMI ports here on half of the screen, and then the other HDMI or USB-C on the other side. So you can run two things at a time. So let's say every now and then when I'm talking to my suppliers or working on a new product, what I can do is I can have the web browser and all my chats and everything open on one side while I can continue to game on the other, which is just awesome because I often have to wait quite a while between, our exchanges. Like, let's say I sent them a PDF and they need to look over it, or they send me something that I need to look over. So it serves perfect for that situation. So if you're looking for a great ultra-wide monitor that isn't going to break the bank, 4K monitors in general are just too expensive. Everything I looked at, I just couldn't get myself to buy one of those. I like to be practical, but at the same time try to meet my needs, and this definitely got the job done. Now, another thing is I really wanted to have a floating monitor look. This did come with a stand of its own, which allowed you to adjust the height of the monitor. But what I didn't like is the curved design of the base. It took up a lot of space on the desk itself. And so what I did was I got rid of that and I got the monitor arm that it's standing on, which is the Vivo single monitor arm desk mount. It's a desk clamp, so it clamps to your desk. And now, being in my setup for 3 years, it's held up perfectly fine. It allows me to move around the monitor as much as I'd like, or as far as I'd like, or press it up against the wall if I like. And at the same time, it gives me this nice big floating screen look, which I love. And the space at the bottom that's opened up, I've used that for my Xbox controller with its charging dock, and then also my HomePods. We'll get to those in a second. Now, next up, I'd like to actually talk about the desk that this monitor and computer sit on, which is from Ikea. It is the Vrena, if I'm even pronouncing it right, I'm not sure. But this, again, I really like the color of it. I almost went for the Carlby, but then I was like, everybody has that desk. So I really like this color. It's just unique. And again, it's served well over the course of 3 years. It's $169.99 right now, and I will link it down below so you can check it out. The desk itself is sitting on top of two Alex drawers. I got those in the turquoise variant. Now, the drawers, actually, they don't really hold a lot of stuff for me, but more my supplies that I need, like packing envelopes and bubble wrap and things like that. Simply because I do pack all my orders over here. So if you've ever shopped at my online store, those orders were packed right here on this desk. Overall, this desk has been a great desk. It's been with me for 3 years. So since I've had everything else, I've had it. And I don't have a desk mat on this desk. I like the look of the wood, and despite that, it's held up really well. So I really enjoyed this, and this size is the 74-inch, in case you're wondering, and I will have a link down below along with all the other things that I'm mentioning in this video. Now, another key component of this desk setup is the Xbox Series S. Now, I didn't go for the Series X, which is much more powerful and much more capable, simply because I am a casual gamer, first of all, and then I don't even get that much time to game. And for those reasons, the Xbox Series S has just fit perfectly for my needs. I play a lot of Call of Duty, and for that, this monitor paired with the Xbox Series S is an awesome experience. Just having an ultrawide monitor, you've really got to try it, and it just immerses you in the game. I have the Xbox wireless headset, so I put that on and it makes for a really great experience overall. So for my personal gaming needs, I think the Xbox Series S is more than good. Now for the times that I do game, I've got the Xbox Elite controller. I got it in black. I think it looks awesome. What I really like about this controller is the fact that you can map all these buttons to your liking. So for example, when you're playing Call of Duty, you don't have to take your fingers off the joysticks. You can keep them here and map these buttons to different things like sliding and jumping and all that. I also like how you can adjust the triggers. So it really gives you an enhanced gaming experience. So if you're really looking for a good controller, I think this is a great investment. It comes at a cost, but I have it sitting right here on the wireless charging dock, and it just not only looks good, but also performs really well when gaming. Now, next up, I want to talk about the two peripherals I use. Number one being the Magic Keyboard. So I got this back in 2020. It's the black variant, but it also has the numeric pad, so that's why it's a bit wider. Now, the reason I like the numeric pad is one, I use numbers a lot, and so it's very handy to just have them there. And the other thing is a wider keyboard aesthetically just looks much better with a wider monitor. So if you had a tiny keyboard, I personally would find it weird. Now, I also have the Magic Trackpad. So when I had the 16-inch MacBook Pro, one of the things I enjoyed about that was the fact that it had such a big trackpad. It gave me plenty of space to move my fingers around and to, scroll, swipe, all that stuff. So when I got rid of that, I had to pick this up. And I really love it. When I'm doing video edits, this comes very handy. Next up, I want to talk about the two HomePod Minis that I've set up as a stereo pair on the desk. Now, the reason I have these here is for music, because for whatever reason, you can use these as an audio output for something like an Apple TV, but they just don't pair with something like a MacBook, which is just crazy because I would love to just be browsing and watching YouTube and have it play from the HomePods, but I just can't do that. Nonetheless, these are here for music. I like the fact that I can simply have something playing here, tap the HomePod, and it just transfers over and it starts playing. Now, another reason I like having them here and being able to play music is because this desk setup is inside of a garage. And so when I'm doing other things like organizing stuff or washing my car, I can simply reach over and stream the music to the HomePods, and they sound great. They really do, and I really wish I could use them with my MacBook, but nonetheless, they serve great as a stereo pair for audio. Now, next up, I want to talk about one of my own products that I've incorporated into this desk setup. So I looked at a lot of different docks, and I didn't want something permanently sitting at the desk, so I came up with my own solution. I put a plate on the back of the Magsafe charger, and then I have the Magsafe Anywhere mount, which is a product in my store, and I basically just set the charger on there and it charges and stays in place at the same time. So what's cool is that you can bring it out when you need it and have your phone beside you, but at the same time, if you just want it tucked away, out of the way, you can do that as well and just have your phone sit on top and let it charge while keeping it out of the way. So I really love this product, and I think for a desk setup, or even if you want to mount it to the wall and have like a floating charger setup, like in your kitchen or somewhere else, then this is a great product to do so. And I really appreciate the fact that a lot of you have purchased it, so thank you very much for your support. Next up are headphones. So I've got two pairs that are always at this desk. Number one, Xbox wireless headset. This is a great headset. It's $100, sounds good, mic quality is good, and for longer gaming sessions, they have been comfortable. So I've not had any issues with this headset whatsoever. I've done a full video on these, so I will link that down below just in case you're interested. Now next are the AirPods Max. I really love this pair of headphones. These sound great. The noise cancellation on them is awesome, especially for when you're on a long flight and you've got a crying baby. That happened to me several times and the noise cancellation was able to take care of it. Now I've got them dressed up with these Pitaka AirPal shells. These are really nice because they give it a nice aramid fiber look, and at the same time they protect the outer shell of the AirPods Max. I use these mainly for my video edits, and the only time they're traveling with me is when I have a flight. I've never taken them elsewhere. So they always sit at this desk, and they've done a good job. Now, these are pricey, so maybe find them used, but what I would say is that how long I've had these and how long I will continue to use them, the price over the course of time will pay for itself. So highly recommend this if you are on the fence for AirPods Max. Now, one of the last things I want to talk about are the Philips Hue light bars that are behind my monitor. These really give off a nice soft light because they're bouncing off the wall and coming back at you. They give you the choice of RGB colors, so you can set them to any color of your choice. Usually when I'm gaming, that's when I have them set to like different colors, and I usually just like dim them down so I can mainly just see the monitor and focus on the game. What I like is that you can set them up with voice assistants. So you could set them up with Siri, Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa. So that's really nice. I walk into this space, tell Siri to turn on the office, and there it goes. Now, overall, I really love Philips Hue's products. I have their bulbs, light strips, you name it, I've probably got it. Simply because they come with a really good warranty, and I've never had issues with any of their products before. So I know they're a bit pricey, but again, like I said before, they pay for itself over time. So if you're looking for a great light bar setup to add to your monitor, you could either use a light strip or, like I've done, use the light bars themselves. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the wiring. So I like to try to do my wiring as neat as possible because when you're putting everything together, you're going to know which wire is what. But if you just let them all just kind of chill there, they're going to get mixed up and it's going to be a hassle. And at the same time, it's nice to have a neat top to your desk, but then also a neat bottom. You don't want everything just kind of hanging around and whatnot. So you want to take all your wires and run them down wherever your monitor arm is going to be. So you do that. And then what's important is your power strips. So I got this power strip from Anker, and what I like about it, it has a lot of a gap between the different plugs. So what's nice about that is that for some things you're going to have chunky adapters, other things you're going to have small low plugs. So it gives you ample space between each outlet, so that way you can plug in all the different things. I also use the channel trays. So they run from like one side to another and they come in multiple pieces. So you can kind of set them up whichever way you want. And with the wiring, if you just plan out where everything's going to go and which wire is going to be plugged where, then do them one at a time and you will have a very clean setup. Because that's one of the things that like bothers me so much about setups is just wires mixed up everywhere. Overall, having a larger space to work at has been really nice. I felt so congested at my smaller desk setup that going to a bigger one has really just motivated me to come here and work even more. When you are setting up your space, find out what you need. If you look at my entire setup, everything is practical in terms of what I need to get done. This monitor is not the best monitor available. The Xbox is not the best Xbox. The MacBook is not the best MacBook. But these are all things that fit into my life in a practical way and they get the job done, and they will continue to get the job done for years to come. So when you're doing a desk setup, find out what you need, Write down a list of things that you'd like at your desk setup and then tackle them one at a time. Having a large space, a wonderful space that's neat and tidy, where you are motivated to go and work every single day is really awesome. I can't even tell you how great it feels to have a good desk space to work at. Now, one thing I'll say is that whenever you make up your space, or if you do have a space and let's say you're trying to tidy it up, find a place for each of your things. Like, for example, when I work, I move the trackpad around, I move my keyboard around, I move a lot of things around because I even do product shots here. But at the end of the day, everything goes back into its place. And if you find a place for everything and always take it away from that space and then put it back, your desk will always be tidy. I really hope that my video has helped inspire you or given you a few ideas to incorporate into your own desk setup. If it has, comment down below and tell me about it. Or even if you have a question, ask me and I'll do my best to help. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I will see you in the next video.